The Discovery Sport Industry Summit is about stimulating conversation within the industry. We're a very vibrant sponsorship marketing business in the country. The industry in South Africa is worth over 7.5 billion rand, and sport in general contributes over 1.5% to the total GDP of the country. So it's a very vital industry, it's a vibrant industry. Yet there are certain issues within the industry that we need to debate. We need to be kept abreast of what's happening globally. What are the trends? Where is the industry going? What can we learn from our counterparts overseas and implement with a very South African voice? We've also got a lot of brands in South Africa that are starting to look north of our borders to the rest of Africa. And unfortunately, we tend to take this approach of a one-size-fits-all, but Africa is not one homogeneous country. It's many, many countries, many different people who all have different attitudes, different personalities, and we need to speak to them in a different way. So it's really about fostering conversations within the industry.
I think when you come to a summit like this, you already have people that have got equal minds around something around sport. So it's important to relay a message to say, I'm already making a contribution in sports. How do we network? How do we work together so that together we can get to something bigger? I don't know if you have seen when you cut a cake during a birthday celebration, if you cut a small little piece in the middle, you're able to cut more pieces. I think a summit like this gives myself, from a McDonald's perspective, a platform to find who else one can partner with so that we can accelerate the work that we are doing with our sporting properties.
I think it's extremely important. Sports need the partnership and support of corporate sponsors, and it's a win. You need to look at it as a win-win situation for both. So corporates benefit in that they're associating with a positive brand, but also the package also has to be attractive. So the right broadcasting partners need to be on board so that it's seen as an attractive package and an attractive property to be involved in. But sports can't progress without support, and there is great support from government, but I think corporates have a big role to play in getting that up.
This is not something that you get into and go out, because the benefits are actually the grassroots in the long term. They should come in prepared for the long term, so they shouldn't chew more than what they can actually eat, but take it small bits and pieces, and then over time it will grow organically, especially if they've got the right partners on board and also if it's part of their business imperative.
It is extremely important that we leverage on the knowledge and best practice of industry, of corporate sponsorship, and brainstorm together with the best practice and say, what is it that we can achieve better, and learn from it, from one another. Learn how we take the sporting industry forward.
Step one for me was to come down and learn and to network, and so I've ticked that box. I'm going to tick it a little bit more here as we leave tonight. But part two was humbly to share some of the innovation that we're pressed in at Michael Johnson Performance every day, to really find space in the training industry that is edgy, that is going to make training cool, that is also going to find sort of hidden gems of human potential. And that speaks to the need to find ways to utilize big data, the ways to be more creative and nuanced, and find ways that maybe other people haven't done, or create the same thing just with a different slant on it. So it all speaks around those same sort of ideations around innovation, and so that's the reason that I come to conferences like this, and it's so inviting to be in these audiences with this group.
The nice thing about bicycle is not the most expensive trip you can possibly imagine, but there were still areas of support. For example, logistics, medical, and obviously a cash component, and other little bits and pieces, about bicycle spares and things like that. So I identified people that, first of all, I either had access to or contacts with, or people that I thought that their brands would align, particularly who had a strong Africa influence, and go to them and sort of pitch my journey as being unique, and giving a unique perspective of Africa, which will hopefully help showcase what they do in Africa and give them opportunities to leverage it.
I think it's about setting a vision, it's about networking and engaging as many people as possible, and having some open, frank, and robust discussion on how we can all work together to make the most of the opportunity and the journey to ultimately, for us, it's delivering the successful games in Durban in 2022. I think that probably the most important thing is that you are engaged with the community that is hosting the games, and that people within the community feel that the games is their games. It has to be the people's games, and so from this standpoint, the Commonwealth Games, in terms of its famous brand, the Friendly Games, is really about instilling this connection with people and investing in people all along the way. So people.
Sport is about people. It's about the fan, it's about individuals, it's about integration, it's about, they've been talking about shared value. So it's about all of the elements working together to drive prosperity, drive excitement, drive passion, drive engagement, experience, live life. So to me, those are the big drivers behind it. And again, it contributes to the economy.
We've learnt a lot through, taking a team from South Africa through Africa and into the Tour de France, breaking grounds, making the impossible possible, and doing something that's never been done before. And that's, it was all about raising the funds to do it, leveraging technology to, to bridge that gap between Africa and the World Tour and European cycling. So, there's a lot that we've learnt over the years, and hopefully we can, pass on some of that knowledge to the audience today, and let them also, understand that actually making the impossible is possible.